Good morning everyone, and welcome to this second video in this series. This is the same morning I recorded the anvil clock. This one I actually got the same day. This is a rather simple movement compared to the anvil. This is a basic half-hour strike. I'm going to let you hear this thing strike. It's kind of, the strike mechanism is kind of wound down. I'm going to let you hear it strike 8. While it's partially wound down, this is kind of your average clock, what most clocks would normally sound like. But this one's a bit of an exception, so I'll let you hear this one. This is what most clocks would typically do. Kind of sounds average, doesn't it? Sounds very average, very boring. Turn it to the half past. Right. Well, in my hand, as we saw in the last video, we're brandishing the famous Terry key. So, in the words of Sab Kyle, again, let's start her up and let her run. This is a 2-train movement, half-hour strike, once on the half, however many times on the hour. It is an ingasol movement. I don't have many of these. In fact, this is the only one I do have of the Ingasol brand. And yes, I'm trying to see. And what you'll notice about this clock is it's very cheeky tick. And there it goes. I just nudged it ever so slightly. I know, it sounds broken. It's kind of always sounded like that since I got it. Let's zoom in on the face so you can see it a bit. It's probably not the most... It hasn't been run for a while, so... It's not exactly level. We're going to turn it to the 9 o'clock position now. And let you hear the hour strike when it's fully wound. Listen to this, how fast this goes. This thing is incredible. Beautiful, beautiful example. As I say, this is an Ingersoll, and we're going to turn the clock around and let you see the box work. It's made of very basic boxwood, as I like to call it. Yeah, I've stopped it doing that. It's got a bit of a chip in the front edge of the casing. Whereabouts is that little chip? There is a chip out of this clock somewhere and I can't just remember whereabouts. It's probably so far not there that I can't remember. But it has got a little damage to the case, but nothing huge. So little that I can't even find it, so that just proves... I'll turn it around. I know exactly where it is. The chip in the case is on this back corner here. Might not be obvious to you, but you can see a little bit of a... There, look. Zoom in there, you can probably see. Yeah, look. And that's all that's wrong with it. Well, that's the clock itself. We're going to turn it round with its back to us. And we're going to open this cheeky little guy up. Now this is a basic ingasol movement. Coil strike, as you can see. It hits that, the hammer there is hitting on that coil. There's the coil. There's the hammer. It's a beautiful sonorous tone. And a very cheeky, pleasing tick. I know this thing sounds broken, but it's really not. Here's your typical fastening for your coil. Your coil bolts onto that block. The bar runs down and bolts into the base of the case, as you can see. Pendulum, very solid. I'm going to actuate the hammer now and let you see the clock striking past. You'll see the hammer rise and fall briefly. Isn't that a gorgeous example of something that's very simple? I believe this might have been made in the 80s, we don't know. I have no idea about how this clock came to be, apart from how I got the thing. And for most of my collection, I want to thank the guys at Past and Present, local shop near me who sell clocks and other furniture and stuff like that. So yeah, they do a lot of good stuff. Do Past and Present, also known as P&P as I like to call them. A lot of my clocks came from there. I've got a few examples which currently don't work that I got from other locations, and we will get round to reviewing them when I get them sorted. Well, this is a grand example of the first two clocks I ever got. This one here and the anvil before it, that you saw in the last video. They came from Past and Present. And there's a lot more where this came from. So, if you want to know more, please rate, comment and subscribe. If you think my videos are silly, then, you know, you can comment on it, but to be honest, I don't really take on notice of negative comments, because the way I see it is there's people who do that, don't have anything better to do. So constructive, positive criticism, well, not so much criticism, but definitely positive feedback. If you've got a curiosity, or you say, why are your videos shaky? Well, being a partially sighted camera user, this is not the easiest thing for me to do. But just because I'm classed as blind doesn't mean to say that I'm not going to do videos. I'm going to do my best with the sight that I have, and I enjoy doing this, and I hope you guys who appreciate this enjoy what I'm doing. Yes, that is definitely a gorgeous example of a beautiful Ingasol basic mantle clock. It's nothing to write home about, you know, for an 80s style clock, if that's indeed what it is. It's nothing to write home about, I know, but it's definitely one of my favourites. I love the cheeky tick. It's like, I'm here, listen to me. You know, it makes itself known. That's what I love about this thing. It's got a very broken sounding tick, but it's really not broken at all. It really runs quite amazingly, actually. That little noise, it's kind of got a bit of a bounce on the cogs, but I think that's what gives it its character, because it's got that little bit of a tick bounce. I don't know of many other of these. I only have this one, but they are a pretty nice clock, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. As I say, if anybody's got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I will be featuring more videos very soon.